Hello everyone, so today I thought I'd show you how to make scones, or scones. I don't know how people pronounce it. I think I say scones, I think Mark says scones, who cares? Basically, if you don't know, a scone is a scone. I was trying to think about how to describe what a scone is, and I can't really. It's just this thing that is very British, and we often have it with clotted cream and jam, and it's something that you have with afternoon tea, and it's really, really good, and it's very, very, very simple to make. Also, I've got the camera at this sort of funny, like, pointing down angle because we're locked down, haven't been able to have my hair coloured, and the top, oh my god, those roots, they're not good. Okay, so here are all the ingredients you'll need. Very, very simple. Let's start in the middle with these big boys. We've got gluten-free self-raising flour, we've got caster sugar, we've got milk. You can use any sort of milk. I've got lactose-free semi-skimmed milk here, but anything will do. Got some lemon juice. You could use a fresh lemon if you have one. I've got some vanilla extract. This is kind of like optional really. I really like this brand. And then baking powder and xanthan gum. If you don't have xanthan gum, don't worry, it wouldn't be the end of the world because the self-raising flour that I use does have xanthan gum in. So, and then I have got an egg, which is not going in them, this is just for egg wash, so yeah. And I forgot to say earlier actually, the recipe is obviously on my blog, so I'll link it in the description below so you can get the exact measurements. Oh, and also, how could I forget, obviously that's all very, very dry. Butter, you need butter. I've just been keeping it in the fridge because it's very hot at the moment, so you really want to have nice cold butter. Okay, so first off I'm just going to measure out my self-raising flour, my baking powder and my xanthan gum. And then I've got my butter, it's cold, and I've chopped it into little sort of, well, I say cubes, these are definitely not cubes, but I'm going to put that all in here and then rub it in with my fingertips. You want really cold hands if you can. Obviously when it's hot like it is at the moment, that's a bit hard, but just put your hands under cold water and stuff. And if you're using dairy-free, like dairy-free spread or something, I wouldn't recommend dairy-free spread, I recommend like a dairy-free sort of baking block or something. In the UK we have something called Stork in like a hard margarine. I'm going to get my hands in there now, and rubbing in is essentially, if you don't know, get your butter in there and you literally with your fingertips you just sort of go like this until it becomes breadcrumbs. Okay, so I've rubbed that all in and you can see it's just a nice breadcrumb like consistency now, and then I am just going to add in some caster sugar. Okay, so I've just measured out my milk, which I put into a glass jug, and I'm going to heat this very, very slightly, only so it's lukewarm. You can put your finger in and it won't be boiling hot because you don't want that. You can do this on the hob, like over here, or you can do this in microwave. I'm going to do this in the microwave, and yeah. Okay, so the milk is slightly warm, and now I'm going to add in my lemon juice. And then I've got my vanilla extract, and just mix it up, and I'll just leave that probably for like 5 minutes or so, and tidy up what I've been doing so far, I guess. Also, whilst we're waiting for the lemon juice and the milk to do its thing, I thought I'd just show you that I'm already preheating my oven. It's on 200 degrees fan. I am also going to preheat my baking sheet because I like to have a hot baking sheet for the scones to go straight into. I think it just really helps them. Okay, so time to mix it all together. So I'm using a fork now, and I'm just gonna make somewhat of a little like well in the middle of my mixture. I'm just going to pour this in. Now it will be a bit lumpy because of the lemon juice mixing, but just get it all in. Heard all those lumps there. There you go. And then I'm just going to work it in with a fork. Once you've got it nearly to the point where it's fairly together, I often get my hands in there. I'm not trying to push it all together and squeeze it, I'm just trying to work with it. So I can see there's like some flour on the bottom of the bowl, which there often is. I find when you're doing stuff, it gets sort of stuck there. I've heard people say, oh, mine's really, really sticky. It shouldn't be really sticky. Like my hands look sticky now, but that's from the initial working of it. It's actually not sticky at all now. Let me show you. Right, so my hands are completely clean now, and you can see when I press into the dough, you get very little back. So it's not sticky. If I really squeezed it, obviously it would be, and then once I get my hands in there again, it will get stuff on my hands, but it's not sticky as it were, it's a dough. Okay, so I've got the dough here, and now I'm going to just flour my worktop. So then I've got my dough here, And what I'm going to do is sort of very, very gently sort of just, you can fold it over a little bit. You don't want too many of these, what are they called? I don't know. But you can sort of just fold it over a little bit. I've got my baking sheet and I am going to put this into the oven to warm up first. If yours is non-stick, so it does stick, then I'd recommend putting some baking paper down. I'd recommend everyone putting baking paper down, but I know this one is fine, so I'm just going to put it in the oven as is. But yeah, I'm just going to measure to see that I'm about the height that I want them to be. At the moment I'm a bit under, so just going to sort of bring it round like this. And obviously flour your worktop because you don't want them to stick. And then I've got my cutter, which this is another thing that I learned very recently actually. With your cutter, you press down with it. Then you want to take it out and pop your scone out. You don't want to be playing with it and twisting it because that will make the rise worse as well. With the last bit, obviously now you can see by doing stuff like this with the dough, you're going to get a really lesser scone. You're not going to get as good a one, but I thought I would do one just to maybe show you how it is, because I'll still like it. So let's see if we can get one out of this. There we go. Let's see, because like if we weren't happy with that, we'd probably start doing it again, and that's when you're working the dough too much. Like I need it to be wide enough. There we go. Oh, I did it the other side as well. As I'm going to be putting them onto a hot baking sheet, I do stuff like the egg wash first because I want, as soon as it goes onto the baking sheet, I want them to go straight in the oven. So I just crack an egg into here. Well, we'll do this nice and quickly. So I've got a really hot baking sheet here, and then I'm literally just going to carefully pick these up and put them straight on. And then those are going into the oven. Say bye. Bye. There we go. So we have got these two here. Well, this one especially was one that I really overworked. And that obviously is much smaller than the others, which isn't surprising, as is this one because I worked that a bit more. You can see that some of them are a bit cracked, and that was because I didn't want to overwork the dough. So there were cracks in the dough, so I was like, right, let's just leave it. This one had a crack too, and yeah, I mean some of them have gone a bit tilted, but at the end of the day, to me, they all look like a good scone or a good scone. They're not all uniform, they're not all perfect. If it was the technical challenge on the bake-off, I might come last, but trust me, they smell beautiful. Even this one will taste great. Let's just wait and leave them to cool. There you go. So it's just nice and it's squidgy and just really soft and absolutely perfect. So if you've got a crack on that side, who cares when you've got that softness on that side. And just as I finished filling my scones, the sun has come out, which is great. But yeah, I have done them one way and the other way, jam on top, cream on top, and I don't know which way's for Devon and which way's for Cornwall. As I said, I don't really care because to me, you eat it and it kind of tastes the same, but if anyone thinks differently and thinks it really makes a massive difference to how things taste, then let me know in the comments below because I don't know. And also let me know which way round you prefer, if you do prefer, or if you don't care, or if you even fill yours with something slightly different. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video and want to watch more videos like this, then click up here to watch my gluten-free pizza recipe making video, and click up here to watch my gluten-free naan bread recipe video, and I will see you in the next video. But I am off to eat scones. Bye!